Imagine a world where every difference is celebrated, not hidden. Where height, ability, or physical appearance doesn't define your worth, but adds to the beauty of who you are. Every October, that world comes a little closer to reality, because it's Dwarfism Awareness Month, a time to recognize, uplift, and empower individuals with dwarfism everywhere. This month isn't just about education. It's about embracing identity, breaking stereotypes, and reclaiming visibility in a world that too often misunderstands what it means to live life a little differently. It's a time to say proudly, we are more than our size. And that's exactly what we're here to talk about today on Raising Heights. A space built on honesty, love, and courage, where we share stories of real families navigating life with dwarfism, not from a place of pity, but from strength and pride. Raising Heights isn't just a name, it's a movement. A reminder that growth doesn't come from how tall you stand, but from how deeply you rise above challenges. In today's episode, we're diving into what Dwarfism Awareness Month truly means, how it connects families, inspires change, and challenges perceptions. Because when we talk openly about identity, we don't just raise awareness, we raise understanding, compassion, and hope. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Dwarfism. It's a word that often carries layers of misunderstanding, misplaced curiosity, and unfortunately stigma. But behind the term is a deeply human experience, one that reflects strength, adaptation, and pride. To understand dwarfism is to understand not just a medical condition, but a unique way of experiencing the world. Medically, dwarfism refers to a condition characterized by short stature, usually defined as an adult height of 4 feet 10 inches or under. There are more than 400 different types of dwarfism, with achondroplasia being the most common. This specific form is caused by a genetic mutation that affects bone growth, leading to shorter limbs while maintaining an average-sized torso. But here's something important. Dwarfism isn't an illness that needs to be cured. It's a genetic variation, one of the many natural diversities of the human body. However, society has long misunderstood what dwarfism really means. Too often, people with dwarfism are treated as spectacles or jokes in pop culture, as comic relief, mythical creatures, or caricatures. These depictions strip away individuality and humanity, reducing real people to stereotypes. Many individuals with dwarfism have spent their lives challenging these portrayals, demanding that the world see them for who they truly are: parents, teachers, engineers, doctors, and artists, not defined by height, but by heart. And then there's the reality of living in a world literally not built for you. Everyday tasks, reaching a grocery shelf, using an ATM, or even finding clothing that fits, can be exhausting challenges. Infrastructure often overlooks accessibility for people of short stature, who must constantly adapt and find creative ways to navigate spaces designed for average height. But despite these obstacles, the dwarfism community continues to show resilience, creating tools, advocacy groups, and awareness campaigns to push for inclusion and visibility. Let's talk about the myths, the misconceptions that persist even today. Myth 1: Dwarfism affects intelligence. False. People with dwarfism have the same range of intelligence as anyone else. Myth 2: Dwarfism always runs in families. Also false. In fact, around 80% of people with dwarfism are born to average height parents, the result of a spontaneous genetic mutation. Myth 3: Dwarfism means poor health or short life expectancy. Again, not necessarily true. Most individuals with dwarfism live long, fulfilling lives, though some types can come with specific medical challenges such as spinal compression or joint issues. Behind every statistic is a personal story: a family adjusting, a child learning confidence, a parent advocating in schools, and adults standing tall against discrimination. That's why Dwarfism Awareness Month, celebrated every October, matters so deeply. It's a time to educate, to celebrate differences, and to remind the world that visibility changes everything. According to the Little People of America (LPA), there are roughly 30,000 people in the United States and an estimated 650,000 worldwide living with some form of dwarfism. Yet representation in media, education, and everyday life remains limited. Dwarfism Awareness Month gives a voice to those stories, shifting the narrative from pity or novelty to empowerment and equality. This month encourages everyone to challenge biases, to stop starring, stop assuming, and start learning. It's about understanding that height doesn't define worth, it doesn't measure capability. Love or the ability to dream big. As one advocate beautifully put it, we may be short in stature, but our reach extends far beyond what the eye can see. This is the heart of Dwarfism Awareness Month, not just recognizing the condition, but embracing the community, the culture, and the people who are reshaping what it means to stand tall. Everyday life for someone with dwarfism often involves navigating a world that wasn't designed for them, literally and socially. Something as simple as reaching a counter at a coffee shop, finding clothing that fits properly, or using public transportation can become a daily challenge. Accessibility isn't just about ramps or lower shelves, it's about inclusion, understanding, and respect. Many individuals with dwarfism find themselves having to constantly adapt, using stools, modified cars, or custom tools, while also educating those around them who may not understand what life at a different height truly means. But beyond the physical challenges lies an emotional journey that's deeply personal, one that centers on identity. Growing up with dwarfism can mean facing stares, whispers, or even bullying. For many, the early years are filled with questions like, why am I different? Or will I ever fit in? Yet over time, that question shifts from fitting in to standing out proudly. Self-acceptance becomes a powerful act of defiance against a society that often equates difference with limitation. Many people with dwarfism talk about learning to love themselves fully, not despite their height, but because of it. Confidence for many comes from community, from meeting others who share similar experiences. Families and individuals within the dwarfism community often describe conventions, support groups, or online communities as life-changing spaces where identity blossoms. It's in these places that children who once felt alone see others like them laughing, thriving, and succeeding. They realize that being different is not a disadvantage. It's a distinct identity that brings resilience, creativity, and empathy. Relationships, too, can carry their own complexities. Whether it's dating, friendships, or family dynamics, people with dwarfism often confront stereotypes about attractiveness or capability. Some partners face public scrutiny or awkward questions. Others simply have to remind society that love knows no size. Yet those relationships, like Zach and Tori Roloff, for instance, serve as powerful reminders that shared respect and understanding matter far more than appearance. Through their openness on Little People, Big World, Zach and Tori have helped normalize conversations about dwarfism and family life, showing millions that love and parenting transcend physical differences. Representation in media plays a crucial role in this evolution of identity. For years, portrayals of little people in film and television were limited, often comedic, exaggerated, or demeaning. Then shows like Little People, Big World arrived and rewrote the narrative. Suddenly, audiences weren't seeing characters, but people, parents, children, professionals, living full, rich lives. That visibility helped shift perception from novelty to normalcy. And now, new voices and creators, including members of the Raising Heights community, are continuing that movement. They're sharing authentic stories about what it means to live with dwarfism today, the triumphs, the frustrations, and the everyday beauty in simply being seen. Through their experiences, we're reminded that identity isn't about how tall you stand, but how confidently you live your truth. In every movement toward acceptance and understanding, community plays the most powerful role. Dwarfism Awareness Month isn't just about facts and figures, it's about people coming together to build a more compassionate, inclusive world. Across the globe, local and online communities unite every October to highlight the voices and stories of individuals with dwarfism. These are moments filled with strength and pride, from awareness walks and school assemblies to social media campaigns that educate thousands about respect and equality. Many families, advocacy groups, and individuals organize events that go beyond visibility. They spark conversations that challenge stereotypes. You'll see t-shirts with bold messages like "Different is beautiful" or "See me, not my height." These campaigns remind everyone that inclusion starts with awareness, but true change comes from understanding. It's in these shared spaces, both online and in person, where people with dwarfism find community, belonging, and empowerment. Language plays a crucial role in that journey. The words we use can either uplift or harm. Advocates emphasize that it's always best to use the term "person with dwarfism" or refer to specific conditions like achondroplasia rather than outdated or offensive language. This focus on person-first phrasing reminds us that identity is about humanity, not labels. Words matter because they shape perceptions. They influence how children with dwarfism see themselves, whether they grow up proud of who they are or feeling marginalized by the world around them. Organizations like Little People of America, LPA in the United States, and similar groups around the world have worked tirelessly to foster acceptance, provide resources, and push for representation in every area of society. They offer everything from medical guidance and advocacy training to scholarships and mentorship programs. Their mission is clear: to ensure that every person with dwarfism can live with dignity, opportunity, and joy. These efforts extend to schools and workplaces as well. Inclusion in education means creating environments where children with dwarfism can thrive without fear of bullying, isolation, or inaccessibility. It means adjusting classroom setups, offering adaptive materials, and promoting empathy through conversations about diversity. In workplaces, inclusion looks like accessible desks, equal opportunities, and perhaps most importantly, respect. Many adults with dwarfism have shared how empowering it feels when colleagues treat them as equals, not curiosities. Beyond policies and programs, what truly makes a difference is empathy. Understanding that dignity isn't something granted, it's something every person inherently deserves. When communities come together, when teachers take time to educate students, when employers listen and adapt, when media portrays people with dwarfism authentically, it builds a culture of respect. And that respect creates ripple effects. It means a child can walk into a classroom and feel seen. It means a young adult can enter a job interview confident that their abilities matter more than their stature. It means society as a whole becomes more compassionate, one conversation, one change, one moment of awareness at a time. Ultimately, community support and advocacy are about restoring humanity to the conversation. They remind the world that people with dwarfism are not defined by their height, but by their dreams, talents, and hearts. It's about moving from pity to pride, from ignorance to understanding, and ensuring that everyone, no matter their size, stands tall in the story of human dignity. As the world begins to open its eyes to stories of difference, the heart of Dwarfism Awareness Month isn't just about awareness, it's about embracing identity. It's about learning to see beauty in every height, in every story, and in every challenge that shapes who we are. For many people with dwarfism, life has meant constantly proving their worth in a world designed for someone taller. But true strength isn't measured in inches. It's measured in courage, in self-love, and in the power to rise above misunderstanding. Whether you stand 4 feet tall or 6, confidence grows from the inside. Parents raising children with dwarfism often talk about pride, not pity. They teach their kids to hold their heads high, to love their reflection, and to understand that difference is not something to hide, it's something to celebrate. In homes across the world, families are showing that inclusion begins at the dinner table, in bedtime stories, and in everyday conversations about kindness. One mother shared a powerful message during Dwarfism Awareness Month. "I used to worry about how my daughter would fit in. Now, I realize the world needs to grow, not her." That simple truth reminds us all that it's not about changing people to meet society's standards, but changing society to embrace every person. Across social media, communities like Raising Heights have become safe spaces where people share their stories, their struggles, and their victories. Viewers write in saying how these stories help them see themselves differently, help them accept their own uniqueness, no matter their background or body type. That's the ripple effect of awareness. It transforms empathy into empowerment. Embracing identity also means recognizing that resilience is built over time. Every moment of doubt, every obstacle faced, adds another layer of strength. Those living with dwarfism show the world every day that dignity, humor, and heart are far more defining than stature. And as more people learn, listen, and advocate, the message grows louder. Diversity is not something to tolerate, it's something to treasure. We all have a role to play in creating a society that doesn't just accommodate differences, but celebrates them. So as we move forward from Dwarfism Awareness Month, let's remember that awareness is only the beginning. What matters most is what we do next, how we speak, how we teach our children, how we lift each other up. Because at the end of the day, Raising Heights isn't just about those living with dwarfism, it's about elevating humanity as a whole. As we wrap up this powerful journey through Dwarfism Awareness Month, let's take a moment to remember what this all means. Awareness isn't just about facts or definitions, it's about people. It's about understanding that every individual, regardless of height or ability, deserves to live in a world built on respect, inclusion, and opportunity. When we learn, when we listen, and when we speak with kindness, we help create a culture that celebrates difference instead of judging it. Every small action, whether it's teaching your children about acceptance, supporting awareness campaigns, or simply using the right words, makes a real difference. The beauty of this movement lies in its humanity. We've seen the courage of those who live boldly with dwarfism, the strength of their families, and the compassion of communities who stand beside them. Together, we're rewriting the narrative, one of pride, identity, and belonging. So let this month remind us all that inclusion isn't a single act, it's a lifelong commitment. Embrace differences, amplify awareness, and most of all, choose kindness every single day. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time. Every October, voices around the world rise together to celebrate Dwarfism Awareness Month, a time to educate, to advocate, and most importantly, to embrace identity. For so many, this month isn't just a campaign, it's a movement. It's a chance to be seen, to be understood, and to remind the world that every height, every body, and every story holds equal worth and dignity. Welcome back to Raising Heights, where we talk about life, growth, and everything that shapes who we are. Today's episode is something truly close to the heart. We're diving into what it means to understand dwarfism, not through statistics or stereotypes, but through the real stories, the real people, and the real courage behind every moment of visibility and pride. This isn't just an episode about awareness. It's about heart, perspective, and empowerment, about seeing strength where others might see struggle, and pride where the world once saw difference. Because when we talk about dwarfism, we're not talking about limitations. We're talking about resilience, community, and the beautiful truth that standing tall has nothing to do with height. Every story of someone living with dwarfism begins with a mix of challenges and triumphs. For some, childhood can be filled with moments of standing out, not always by choice, but because the world wasn't designed for them. Yet, time and again, those experiences become the foundation for strength. Think of the small victories: climbing the stairs independently, driving a car modified for accessibility, or walking confidently into a crowd that can't help but stare. Each moment becomes a quiet declaration: I belong here too. Families, too, play an incredible role in shaping that confidence. Parents learn to advocate, siblings learn compassion, and communities slowly begin to understand that inclusion starts with awareness. Many who grow up with dwarfism describe a journey of learning self-acceptance, but also teaching others how to see beyond appearances, how to look at the person, not just the height. When public figures like Zach and Tori Roloff share their families' experiences on television, they give the world an intimate look at this balance between normalcy and difference. We see them raising children, pursuing careers, facing health challenges, all while navigating the same joys and frustrations as any other family. Their openness becomes a mirror for countless others who may feel unseen or misunderstood. Representation matters. When someone sees themselves reflected in a show, a book, or even a conversation, it tells them, you're not alone. For children with dwarfism, seeing someone who looks like them, living fully, loving deeply, achieving dreams, can change everything. It turns isolation into inspiration. But embracing identity isn't always easy. There are still moments of doubt, frustration, or exhaustion, times when accessibility is limited or when stereotypes persist. Yet those moments also spark advocacy. People begin to speak up, to educate others, and to transform pain into purpose. And that's where empowerment begins, not from pretending the challenges don't exist, but from owning them, sharing them, and showing the world how strength grows through struggle. So, as we close today's episode, let's carry forward the spirit of Dwarfism Awareness Month, to look beyond appearances, celebrate every individual's unique identity, and honor the courage and resilience of those who continue to raise heights in their own way. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and for being part of this journey. Until next time, keep embracing difference, spreading understanding, and celebrating the beauty of every story.